All right, everybody, welcome back to, what's this, episode 10? Welcome back to episode 10 of Top Tier Podcast. Today's Monday's episode. We got a bunch of topics for you guys this week. And let's get it, man. I'm excited, man.
Yes, sir.
You guys got any topics, anything you want us to cover, please send us, type it in the comments on YouTube video or DM us on Twitter. You know, you guys have, I'm assuming you guys are here, so you have the link tree. So
Instagram.
wherever it is, you can comment, let us know, and we'll cover some topics.
All of that. Episode 10, baby. It's all in popping. I don't know. That's a big one for me for some reason. Something about the number 10. I think that those digits, they just say something to me. I don't know. What about you?
I mean, it's an accomplishment because most people don't make it this far. Like currently what we're doing right now on the podcast. Most people do a couple episodes and then they kind of fall off. So
yeah. I feel like it's like the numbers are like 10, like 50, 100, 150. You know what I mean? I think it's like those are those momentous steps where it's like, all right, we mushing now. All right. Let's start with some energy, fam. Sir, y'all didn't know I knew something about this. Now, did you? I feel bad for YouTube. They don't get to hear this.
I know. They take you out back if you put that shit on YouTube.
We could just say it's a review. This is a review podcast. We come on here to do music reviews. Hey. This is some 24-year-olds. When I was in San Francisco, I was at an event. And there was a DJ, and he was playing this song, and he was like, yeah. He saw me grooving along, and how he was like, he turned to me, and he was like, yeah, man, you got to love this old music. And I was like, yeah, bro, Michael McDonald. And he looked at me like,
what?
He probably was surprised that I knew him. Because at the time, I was, maybe like 20? Mm-hmm. He looked at me like, huh?
Old head thought he had some esoteric knowledge.
I think so.
Fuck out of here.
Think so. Some esoteric knowledge.
I love that word. I've been waiting to break that out.
Watching her go. Sing it along.
I don't know lyrics, but I've been waiting to break that word out.
Can be all right, y'all. I know we're grooving, but we got to get to it. All right, so we just got through watching She-Hulk episode 3. And
that was my second viewing.
Yeah,
too.
that was your second one. You know, I forgot. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot.
No, it happens. I feel like sometimes you gotta watch things multiple times to see more. Like I thought it was funnier the second time than the first time.
Dude, this was actually a funny ass episode. Like
very funny episode.
They actually got into the comedy of it. The first 2 episodes were good episodes. The last episode, I don't know, it was kind of forgettable. But this episode was like, it has some heart in it. Like, I'm starting to get it. I'm starting to kind of piece it together, like what they're trying to go for. Like I said when we were watching it, I don't necessarily vibe that well with the breaking of the fourth wall. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe sometimes it'll hit. Maybe sometimes it won't, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we just have to...
Yeah, I don't know. People don't complain when it's Deadpool.
Yeah, but
that's literally part of his character. That's like he's more so with him than it is with her, I'm sure.
I think that's what it is, though. I think that's what it is. But like you said, like it's a part of her personality in the comic books. So maybe they're just trying to emulate that, obviously. And then with Deadpool, like that's just part of his character. And Deadpool is much more famous than, or popular, maybe not famous, but popular, known, familiar than She-Hulk.
Deadpool is way more known.
So you kind of expect it. With She-Hulk, I just didn't expect it.
It was just a goofball. But it's a comedy. Like, we forget that. Like, they had to throw in that fight scene, which kind of seemed pointless. But, like...
At the end,
I didn't like it because I thought it was pointless. I thought it was just, like... It's still a superhero show, so, like, she has to have random encounters.
She's
like
got
an RPG.
Fight,
like,
yeah.
she'll just walk around and just random goons will just pop up and she has to beat their ass like it's an RPG. So... But, her whole story has nothing to do with any of that. Right now, she's literally a lawyer. She's a lawyer for... anything that has to do with superheroes and superhero kind.
Yeah. It's going to be a good show.
I like that, though.
It's going to be a good show.
I could see her getting some interesting cases later on.
Is it going to be about her just being like a lawyer? or is it going to be
I'm
about
pretty
her being
sure.
She-Hulk? Because they,
I think it's gonna be about her being a lawyer, but they're gonna tie in some She-Hulk stuff, like that lady who that interrupted her case in the first episode.
yeah,
What I think it was that's like one of the She-Hulk villains. I think her name is Titania or
Right,
something like that. She's like one of her like in her what do they call it like villain gallery?
arch
Something.
nemesis.
Yeah, she's up there. So I'm like, and they just kind of made her like a joke. Like she just like smacked her
That's
off.
funny.
She
you
hit her
said
one
that.
time.
I was
She
just about to
out.
say that's the Joker to her Batman. I was just about to say that.
And they just made her like a joke. But she's probably the kind of villain that's just gonna like come back harder. She's gonna knock her out. She's gonna come. Then she's gonna come back. She's gonna come back harder. She's gonna have to knock her, punch her a couple of times until she builds up to being a real threat.
She's
I can see
definitely
it.
going to be in the show more. She was on Kimmel. I think she was on Kimmel.
I don't remember actually if that was her.
Well, I know for a fact she was on some late night television show. Whoever is taking a break right now, she might have been on Kimmel. It might have been Fallon. But you don't just have like a random appearance in She-Hulk and then all of a sudden you're on Kimmel/Fallon, whichever one it is. She's going to be on the show. She's probably a major part of the show.
Oh yeah, I mean but that's like her Joker, so she's gonna come back. Probably I call next episode. It's been enough time that we need to see her again if they're gonna establish her as a relevant character in the season.
I think that this is going to be a good show. I mean, it's kind of funny that this show came out around the same time as Marvel,
Which one?
Miss Marvel.
Yeah, that was a show before it was Ms. Marvel, which I didn't even finish it. I just did not. Like
I never
it.
watched
It
one
was not for
episode.
me.
Didn't make any noise. What happened with that show? Is it over?
It's over, man. It's been done for a little.
How
bit.
many episodes was it? 8?
Like 6 or 7,
Oh, okay.
something like that.
That show came and went.
I wasn't feeling it, bro. I watched like 3 or 4 episodes.
Nobody
I
was
wasn't feeling
clearly.
it.
Nobody was clearly. Another show that we were watching.
It was just like
Oh, go ahead.
too cornballish to me. I don't know. Like Marvel's getting real corny, but that show was like really corny.
And at least with this
Shows.
show or like with the Thor movies, you know going into it, these are going to be comics. I mean, not comics, comedies. You know that you're going in here to see some goofball ass shit, and you know you're going in here to just sit there and laugh and just enjoy the spectacle of what it is. It's not supposed to be taken serious. I would love to see this become a little bit more serious, though. Maybe we won't get into a TV show. Maybe she needs to actually come into a feature-length film in order for it to be taken serious. But she doesn't seem like she has that type of... It doesn't look like they're going to build her to be that type of Avengers. Like, they're joking about it, like, in the episode. Like, oh, you got rejected by the Avengers. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't even know if she's taking it that seriously. But, like I said, we just met her. She's just been introduced. There's a whole lot of story left for her. I don't pay attention to the comic book, so I don't know what ends up happening to her in the canon. So I'm just playing it by ear, really.
She's gonna be an Avenger, bro.
Okay.
Without a doubt. I don't know how they're gonna convince her, but she's gonna be an Avenger. She's gonna be in that final war.
Well, that'll be
against
interesting.
King the Conqueror.
That'll be very interesting. Are they just gonna have to bring everybody in like how they did with Thanos? Just everybody,
Probably.
everybody got to fight. everybody,
Dude,
everybody
apparently
gotta fight.
Henry Cavill is gonna go play
I know
Hyperion,
you
which
said
is a
that.
joke. It's a joke because like Hyperion is like Marvel Superman. He's like a direct ripoff. Like he is literally meant to be Marvel Superman.
I mean, I don't really care anymore. Like, I'm just watching Marvel movies because they're the only ones that are really coming out consistently with shit that's like all in the same universe. Things that they're the only franchise really that nowadays that I actually pay attention to. We're gonna speak about Lord of the Rings in a minute here. Lord of the Rings is something that's been part of film and TV since the 2000s. It wasn't the 90s, right?
Yeah, and the books are like in the early 1900s, right?
Yeah, the books are old. The books are very, very old. But just in terms of like film, it's it's either late 90s or early 2000s. I'm not really sure. I'm not a big fan of Lord of the Rings. As you'll hear in my opinionated review here of Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, episodes 1 and 2 on Amazon Prime. I'll just go ahead and finish that free promo for y'all. Thank you. You're welcome, Amazon Prime. You watched it. I watched it. I watched it with a friend.
I watched it a little, kind of watched it. It was boring, dude. I don't know.
It's
It
something
was just
about
really boring.
Lord of the Rings, and don't kill me, people who are listening.
I
to
love.
this.
Don't get me wrong, dude. I love fantasy. I love
Exactly.
that high fantasy, like pseudo Europe, fantasy European based kind of elves and magic. I know this is the OG, but it just was not doing it for me, and I like that kind of stuff.
Now, for me, it's like I try to look critically at things when I'm watching TV and when I'm watching movies. I don't want to just say, "Oh yeah, I don't like it," or like, "Oh yeah, like it was bad," or or whatever opinion it is. I always want to think about it critically. I don't want to just go in and just say some bullshit without any nuance to it, without any explanation. I try to break it down. And when I'm breaking this down, I think, like you said, I like the high fantasy shit, okay? I like the Game of Thrones. We were talking about Narnia when I was watching it with the homie. We were talking about the Chronicles of Narnia and shit like that, Harry Potter, things like that. That's all fantasy oriented. I like it all. But there's something about Lord of the Rings, and the more I think about it, I think it just is the pacing. I think that Lord of the Rings does something that I don't like in a lot of these big world building type shows or franchises, which is just when they introduce you to characters, they make you sit there and listen to heavy dialogue with these characters that we don't know anything about. Now, I'm not a big fan of being introduced to characters in that way where I have to sit with them. Unless it's a feature-length film, this is the main character, this is the secondary character, they're going to be the leaders of the show or of the movie or whatever. But if it's a TV show, you have to move it. Like, you got to move it along. Like, I don't want to be stuck here for 5 minutes listening to this bullshit that I don't even know these characters, so why do I care about what they're talking about and all these little words and lines that they're throwing out there? I don't care. That's something I love Game of Thrones about. Love about Game of Thrones is that they just move the pacing. We talked about that before too in the reviews.
Yeah, but Game of Thrones dude, I'm telling you, I know people who say Game of Thrones was too slow for them and they just could not finish it. So we can make the same kind of comparisons. I don't know, man. I like Game of Thrones more because I like dark. I feel like it's much darker and grittier. I'm not saying Lord of the Rings isn't dark.
It's not.
But like Game of Thrones is 10 times more edgy and gritty than Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah. Game of Thrones is actually rated mature.
It holds my attention way more.
It's probably more realistic.
I didn't give it I probably didn't give it enough a try. It definitely is more realist. But later seasons start getting stupid. Like they would just be we would spend seasons traveling, and in later seasons they would just be teleporting. Like 1 minute they're in Dragon Rock, and next minute somehow they got back to Winterfell, or was it Winterfell?
They start rushing. They start rushing a bit.
Or then we got to. Now we're on the way to King's Landing. Like, bro, this is taking years.
They start rushing a bit, but I mean that happens. That happens. But I just think overall, like, there's something about Lord of the Rings that's just. It just doesn't hit for me. And I've watched my fair share of Lord of the Rings canon. I've watched the first 2 movies. I've watched the first Hobbit. And now I've watched the first 2 episodes of the TV show, which they spent a grip of money on. More than a grip, bro. They spent like 3 big budget movies within this one.
They want this to succeed, man. People are already spreading FUD and lies.
Oh yeah, we should get to that.
It's woke because they're adding darker skinned characters, and this was supposed to be like racist white people's like white fantasy.
Like, something like that.
They hate black people in fantasy. Anything fantasy related is just like because their fantasy is us not being around.
And it's not just with Lord of the Rings. They do it with everything, bro. They do it with superhero movies. They do it with It just happened with the Peter Jackson. Not Peter Jackson. What's the
Percy Jackson.
Yeah, Percy Jackson. Yeah. They're making a TV show out of that, and they casted a black girl in that, and people were like, "Oh my god!"
I love those books when I was a kid, bro.
It happened with
middle school. I love those books.
It happened with Star Wars recently with Moses Ingram.
Yeah. Percy Jackson deserved the Harry Potter treatment. I think it was that good. I remember.
Well, they tried. They made like 2 or 3 movies.
But they casted like they didn't get the Harry Potter treatment because they casted like grown people to play like 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, dude, you got to cast 12-year-olds and let them grow up with the movies. Like Harry Potter did, because it's more, you buy it more, especially if you read the books.
I read the books and they were cool. It wasn't anything special.
I remember one. I don't even remember. I think the third one, like. There was one that was so sick to me, like, it was like, what was that shit called? I know it's not that important. I know I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent. There's so many like new books now that I can't even find like a list of the OG books.
Yeah, he goes.
I think it was Battle of the Labyrinth. That one was sick, if I remember correctly.
Is that the one with the dark cover?
Yeah, it has like a darker red cover.
Okay.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I never got all the way into it. But yeah, like I mean, like I was saying, like I've watched my fair share of Lord of the Rings, and I just don't think that I gravitate towards those characters or towards the world. There's nothing about it that I enjoy. Nothing. I watch it and I'm like, fuck, I can't wait for this to be over. And the worst part about it is that Lord of the Rings is so long. The movies are 3 hours long. The TV shows are over an hour long. Like everything that they do is just it's just long. It's long. Pause. But
Pause.
I don't want to watch it anymore. I'm gonna watch it, but I don't want to. And that's all I have to say about it.
But that's all I have to say. It just did not catch my attention. I wasn't really feeling what was going on. But I don't know. It definitely seems like a show that I might have to wait on. Let it finish, see what people think. And if it's solid, I'll go back and binge it.
Well, the problem with that is that, and we can get to this, the problem is that people are hate reviewing, I should say, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, because they have this like hate boner was like their Lord of the Rings is like their ideal fantasy of the world, where it's just like the Aryan race, and there's just no darkies.
Is that really the reason
just-
why?
Yes, that's what I believe. Because they come from this perspective. It's like it's not historically accurate. So elves and magic and orcs and rings of
Ain't
power.
no way.
But you worried about melanin.
Ain't
like,
no way.
It's fiction. But see, that's how you know really what it is that they just their fantasy is just that we don't exist, and it's just this Aryan state with magic and all this utopia and magic and elves in the trees with bows and white skin and godly white skin and long blonde hair.
He looks like
These people are crazy.
It's like when Nicki Minaj said broke people should never laugh. It's like, damn, I really tried on that joke too. It's like when Nicki Minaj said broke people should never laugh. It's kind of like white people are like, black people should never. Damn, I'm gonna cut that because that was a big time mess up. I couldn't think of a joke. I was trying. I'm not a comedian. I was
What
trying.
happens?
That sucks though. I'm not gonna leave a review, but my review will be poor too. I wonder because it did numbers, and this is the first time that Amazon Prime
22 million tuned in. I'm pretty sure it was big.
This is the first time that Amazon Prime has released numbers about the viewership of a show, even with popular shows like The Boys. They've never released any viewership numbers.
They needed to succeed. They spent money.
That's the
They
reason
spent
why.
money. That's why they did it, because they want to release it. So it's like, damn, that shit must be popping.
That's why they
We don't
can't
know
fuck up
in
with
the
the
grand
reviews.
scheme. Yeah.
They said they're literally verifying people who want to review things on Amazon Prime. Like you can't just go and review
Yeah,
it.
because these white supremacists from 4chan and 8chan, these little cucks, are going in and hate bombing shit, because that's what they do.
Why don't they
They're
say
like little
something about
miserable
that?
Bastards.
Why don't they say something about that? Condemn it.
I don't know.
That's because they're going to be able to use them for the fucking numbers that they're reporting, huh? That's why.
Probably.
That's why. I don't know.
Dudes hate watch shit. They
I
try
hate
to
watch.
tune in and just be like, there's a Negro who's an elf. This is an abomination. There's an ER over there who's an elf. Like, you know what I mean? They're gonna be post talking. You know they talking shit. They don't ever stop talking.
They don't give a fuck. Okay, let's move on. That's enough hate of Lord of the Rings. Enough. I don't like Lord of the Rings, bro. Fuck. I wish I liked it, though. I wish I liked it. All
Who
right.
is this?
Doja Cat? You kidding me? Nigga, you don't know Doja Cat's songs?
I kind of fucking with this one a little bit. I do not like Doja Cat.
Shake that ass, Elliot. Shake that ass, Elliot. Shake that ass. No?
I don't give a
Okay.
bro.
He almost got up. He wanted to. Okay, so we're gonna move into new music now. Now, Elliot Gill. Probably shouldn't have given your last name up.
Probably. We're gonna cut that. We gotta make sure you cut that
I'm
out.
gonna censor that. I'm gonna censor that. I'll make sure I censor that.
I mean, I think my name is like my whole name is in one of the descriptions. So we gotta
Oh,
take that
really?
out, too.
Oh, I
Yeah.
did put our names on the description. Well, I guess because it's our Instagrams are connected to it. Maybe I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So Elliot, you are the music master of this show. New music.
I'm not the music. I think I'd say you the music master. I just kind of. I don't really be listening to music like that, other than like people I've been waiting years to listen to.
This nigga will run away from new music, bro. You'll be like, oh, there's some new music out. He'll be like, all right, I'm gonna go chill over here.
Literally, because I just ain't been feeling it.
There's
really
some
nothing
good
out
music
that I-
out there, bro. But I definitely understand your pain. Today, I finally got to the new music that released on Thursday night, Friday morning. And I probably listened to about 3 hours collectively of music. Guess how many songs I actually enjoyed? Three.
What?
I
of
enjoyed
how many songs?
approximately 12 minutes of the 3 hours of music that I listened to. One of them will be featured as a top tier deep cut, and the two others were just some random fucking. There was a Gorillaz featuring Tame Impala song that I really enjoyed.
Oh, that shit's probably hot.
You want to hear a taste
I
of
gotta
it?
listen to that.
You
Yeah.
want to hear a taste?
See, that's something I would listen to.
It was Gorillaz featuring Tame Impala. It's called New Gold.
Blueberry.
It was nice, bro. It was nice. Tame Impala. Oh, and Booty Brown.
That shit probably sounds like ass, like farting on the mic. Booty Brown.
Booty Brown is the name.
That sounds like if a turd released an album.
You know, it's just Tame Impala, bro.
I'm liking this one.
Yeah, you know, it's just a vibe.
This one is hot.
Yeah. It's just a vibe. You know, it's nothing special. If you listen to Tame Impala, you know what
Wait,
it
hold
is.
on. Let me add that right now. What's the song
It's called New Gold by the Gorillaz.
Dang.
Yeah, that was one of the songs. There was a song by a woman named, let me find it really quick so I can give her props. Bishat? I think that's how you pronounce her name. It's kind of a weird name. Bishat, I think is what it's pronounced as. She had a little two-track EP or whatever you might call it. I don't know what you call that. It's probably a little short to be called an EP. But yeah, 12 minutes out of 3 hours of music, yo. Like, I listened to a good amount of people that I am familiar with, and some people that I would call fans, honestly. There's Pierre Bourne released a little mixtape. Kenny Beats released a little mixtape. He makes some good beats, you know, it was whatever. Lil Baby had a single. Gucci had a single.
Lil Baby.
I don't understand Lil Baby, bro. I don't understand that nigga. I can't listen to him. I don't understand him. I literally can't understand him.
No, it's just like hood dude music. Like I'm not a hood dude. Never have been. I can't identify with it. But there's one song I do like by Lil Baby, Freestyle by Lil Baby. Love that song.
It's just
Love
his
that
rapping.
song. I love
His
that song
flow
for
is
years.
fast. It's like, you know, you can listen to Twista, right? And Twista, you know, he's he's speaking like that. But you can understand what he's saying. At least you could parse the words apart, you know? With Lil Baby, it's like, nigga, like what dimension are you, what vortex are you in? I don't.
You don't know what this guy is saying.
The thing that's crazy about it
The
is
beat
that
is hard. Cool.
the thing that's crazy about it is that other people, they must be looking at the lyrics, but other people will be rapping along to his songs, and I'm like, you are in another dimension to understand what this guy is saying. How?
They definitely read the lyrics.
Yeah, and practiced.
And are like intoxicated at the same in both.
And like how you used to do when you were like 12 years old, when you finally got a flip phone, you finally can put yourself on camera. Like and they were just practicing in front of their camera. That's probably what they were doing. You had to be reading the lyrics. There's no way you just listen to Lil Baby and are like, oh yeah, ooh, that was a bar. I understand what he's saying. Ooh, I understood that part too. No, ain't no way. Ain't no way.
That's why I only really listen to like I said, like Flatbush and like Run the Jewels, like these dudes rap. Like these guys like enunciate. These guys are like you can understand everything that they're saying. They're not like like mumble rap really is lean rap. They don't call it that. It's like I'm on some crazy drug rap, and I get on the mic. Like you like white girl wasted slurring your words rap. That's literally what it is.
Bro, he doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna play some.
Like imagine white girl wasted, black guy, white girl wasted. Country white guy, sorry, country black guy, white girl wasted. They give him some lines and say start rapping. It's gonna sound like because these guys, it sounds like to make the music, they have to be in a certain kind of intoxicated state.
Listen to this,
or it doesn't sound authentic.
Now, like you said, the beat's hard. The beat's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But when you start hearing like how Snoop Dogg did on the like
Yo, Nick, pass, make it slack. I've been on the road, I'm gone. Private jet for me and the brosy. Extra Renzo, pick up clothes. I made a fence and hit my hose up.
I'm lost already.
It ain't bad right now.
I had it for a second.
I'm lost.
I had it for a second.
You can hear the first two lines of the first bar.
Yeah, something about Rosie, and then it was gone.
I build niggas up to let me down. World know I take care of everybody. They can't keep a tab on my whereabouts. Acting like it's smoke.
See, it's like
turn a nigga
you can start. You can parse together a couple of lines, like. But then you have to pay attention to the third and the fourth line, and now you done missed the fifth and the sixth line. So you're already behind. It's something about these new niggas, man. I think are we becoming out of touch? That's something that our friend tries to tell us all the time.
Out of touch.
Are we? Just,
well, maybe because he seems to be like he's on TikTok. Like he's like I think we're not at the source anymore. We're getting runoff water. We getting the watered down shit on Instagram and Twitter.
That Flint, Michigan.
It really goes like I don't even want to get into that. And was it Mississippi?
Yeah.
Their water crisis and just there's basically just warfare against black people. But we don't even want to get started on that. That's really on us to get in there and get these politicians who are not repairing these systems out of office. There ain't no way the district is mostly black and it's white people in power.
You were saying
something's wrong. But back to what I was saying. Damn.
Lil Baby, runoff water.
Yeah, like runoff water. So we're not getting like we get the memes weeks later when the trend is over on TikTok. So we're like late. Like it comes to Twitter probably like 2 or 3 weeks after the trend ends. So we're late. Like when we get on shit, Justin's like, "Oh, I saw that. They've been doing that for a while."
But with music, I'm up on music. For the most part, I'm up on music. I know who's popping and who's not popping. I just don't know why.
Yeah.
I can't personally. I listen to music of a different era. I'm from this era, but I listen to music and enjoy music from another era, like decades and decades and decades ago. When I listen to today's era, it sounds like the runoff water to me. I don't feel like I'm getting runoff water because it is runoff water. Like I'm at the back of the drain, getting the runoff water, and all the niggas on TikTok is still getting the same water.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like you are still getting the same water, but I just feel like you kind of sound like it's a little old headish. Like
it does sound old headish.
It's a little old headish.
But them niggas don't know. They're no headish. They don't understand what they're saying. They don't understand them. I don't care how much you try to convince me that you understand Lil Baby. You are reading the lyrics and you don't understand Lil Baby's lyrics. Okay, you don't understand it. There's some songs I can actually like. Oh okay, that was a bar. But most of the time it's like, nigga, what? Mm-hmm. Nigga.
But you know who's responsible for this. Like, he doesn't get... And he's going to jail. But you know who's responsible for this.
Who?
Right? Just guess. Who started this thing? This rap
mumbling
bullshit on the mic. Like, real mumbling. Young Thug.
Okay.
Like, when we were like, what was this, early high school? He was like, nigga, yeah, like to get it. It's only beginning. Yeah, nigga, I'm dropping out up on cloud, nigga, still beginning. I had to look up the lyrics.
That's pretty legit. Young Eli, okay.
We need to really blame Young Thug.
I understand that.
If you mad about it, it's Young Thug.
I understand, and he's from Atlanta too. So, and
Even though I feel like older Young Thug was a little bit more like he like refined the mumble. Like he
can
made the
understand
mumble
some
hot.
Lil Thug though.
Like, you get what I'm saying.
That particular song, you couldn't understand him, and maybe
That was like his first big
yeah,
hit.
that was the one. So, but you can understand Young Thug though. I feel like I can understand Young Thug.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of understand Young Thug. That song, like when you look at the lyrics and you listen to it like 100 times, then you're like, all right,
Yeah,
I
puppet on
kind of see it
clouds.
now. He was like, yeah, nigga, I'm trying to like make it clear. He's like, yeah, nigga, I'm on the top of the mountain puffing on clouds and niggas still beginning. That's what he said.
But he
Like, he's
mumbled
basically
it.
like, I'm at the top.
He
like,
mumbled it though.
Yeah.
He's speaking some
yeah, I'm on the top of
abracadabra.
the mountain puffing on clouds and niggas still beginning.
This dude was speaking some wizardry. He was casting spells. Abracadabra, expecto patronum. New music. I think that was pretty much it. Ari Lennox released the EP. I have something to say about that.
Okay.
Ari Lennox is an amazing talent, yo. She can sing,
Everything
bro.
Everything I heard from her has been quality.
She can sing, bro. She reminds me of
She
Erykah
does not get the
Badu.
respect she needs too.
Erykah Badu 2.0. It's because she doesn't sell her ass.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother topic. But she's talented. She's gifted. And she makes good music. Her last album, Shea Butter Baby, solid. I think it got some
Shea Butter?
acclaim. Yeah, Shea Butter. Shea Butter. Did I say she?
I was thinking about ordering some shea butter because I don't moisturize enough, and I was thinking about ordering like a big ass tub of shea butter to just lather myself in oil. Every
Goodness. Lather it.
I
Lather
got
it up,
scared
man.
because I saw this video. Where it was like this. And I know I'm on a science tangent. I'm gonna end it real quick.
I'm
but
gonna
I
get
saw
back.
this lady who was like, she moisturized her face. I don't think it was with shea butter. It was with something else, and like, but only her face every morning. She was like 80, and her skin looked amazing. Her skin looked like she was like 50, like 40, 50. Rest of her body looked like a shriveled up prune.
God damn.
And they was like, make sure you moisturize. That shit scared me so bad. I was like, black don't crack, but I really want to reinforce it with bulletproof glass with some shea butter.
Yeah. You need it. Not you actually need it,
I
but
don't-
like you need it.
I don't moisturize it nearly as much as I should, but I'm ready, man. We getting older. It's time to lock in the youth
Yeah, seal it up.
and wait for them because we gonna in our lifetime we're gonna get those crazy skin treatments. Like I'm gonna be 80 years old. I'm looking like I'm 50. I'm looking like I'm 40, bro. At 80, my skin is gonna be looking glistening and butter, rejuvenated. Get them injections and shit, alter the DNA.
Do
They're just
that
gonna-
shit.
Whoever invents like super anti-wrinkle cream, trillionaire. Elon Musk, fuck out of here. All I'm gonna say.
Then maybe when you all nice, moisturized, glistening, glowing, you have a shea butter baby of yourself, shea butter baby of yourself for yourself, and you can start listening to this this Ari Lennox EP. Ari Lennox had an EP, which I was very surprised to see coming from Ari Lennox. This close to her album release, she has an album coming up next week, or I guess technically this week. It's Sunday today. We're recording on a Sunday. This EP was called Away Message. 5 tracks. You know, it was cool. It was whatever. It's probably just throwaways. I found something off of it. I thought it was real cool. You know, I didn't really, you know, it wasn't anything special to me. And it just got me thinking, bro. It was like, Ari Lennox, like I said, extremely talented, very gifted singer. Erykah Badu 2.0. However, ain't nobody holding the candle to SZA. We need SZA.
So who winning the verses? Well, SZA, of course. That's not even a question. That's not.
I don't
the
even
same
know why
tier.
you asked that question.
Yeah.
You need to go. I need to put you on punishment for asking that question. Your mic should be turned off after asking that
Damn.
question.
That was just like it was an innocent question that I thought about. It happened in like 2 seconds.
R&B is dead without SZA. Maybe that's the reason why we're even having the discussion of is R&B dead. Is because there's no SZA out. SZA hasn't come out with the song since 2021, like early 2021, late 2020. Maybe 2020. When did Good Days come out? 2020?
Something like that.
Like, damn, bro. And Ari Lennox, like we can't have R&B. R&B obviously is in the hands of
You
women right now. Women are controlling the shit, clearly. But it
don't think
can't,
Daniel Caesar can come out and usurp the throne?
brother. You gonna make me turn your mic off? Can't come at me with that stuff, bro. Don't mention Daniel Caesar ever on this podcast ever again. Daniel Caesar is ass. He can sing though. He can sing. But we can't be looking at Ari Lennox to be the matriarch of R&B. We can't be looking to Summer Walker as the head, as the crown figure of R&B. We can't be looking at Alina Baraz or who else? We can't be looking at LMA. We can't be looking at LMA to be her poetry speaking ass, to be the crown jewel of R&B. It's just not happening. It's not for them. It's for SZA. Heavy is the head that wears this crown, and SZA's head is built perfectly. It's built perfectly to hold that,
Now,
that
where's
mantle.
the album?
Huh?
Where's the album?
I think that it has something to do with her label. I think it has some, and I don't know her
If she's
contractual
that much
obligations.
of a goat, why are they not dropping it? What are they waiting for?
The same reason why they took forever to drop Kendrick Lamar's album. You think it takes Kendrick Lamar? Do you honestly think that it takes Kendrick Lamar 5 years to create music? No.
Probably not. I don't think so.
No. I think that it is the label, TDE, that they play chess moves. And they allow, Isaiah Rashad was saying something similar. SZA has said something similar as well. They play chess moves with how, because it's a business, bro. At the end of the day, it's a business. You got to maximize return
revenue.
here.
They're analyzing the market and when to drop.
Exactly.
And
It's not about artistry. Same, we had the discussion, I don't know if it was last pod or a couple pods ago, about the film industry and the reason why they don't take certain risks on certain movies, because they got to make sure they get the return and this and that, and the metrics got to line up and the analytics. It's all of that. It's all of that. They don't really care about the artists. Man, I can't wait till somebody with some emphasis, like somebody with some like stake. Like somebody huge, like if Drake were to just drop the Universal label and just go and create their own independent shit, they'll have their own labels, but it's under the conglomerate of the Universals, of the Sonys, of the RCAs. It's not just them. I can't wait till, because the shit's gonna change.
It's just a battle between all these labels, basically.
Yes. It's not like,
it seems like some people drop all the time. It's like, fuck a time period. You got new music, we're gonna drop it. Like, it seems. I guess maybe it's they're throwaway artists that they're already in debt with. They're just like, put out music, bro.
well, who are you speaking
Some
of?
hits, some hits.
Because like Drake is a great example of that.
Like
Drake,
think on like a thugger, or maybe even Drake. I mean, it doesn't seem like we're never waiting for a Drake album. It just seems like whenever it should come out, it should come out. Or like Tyler. Tyler drops every other year on the dime. Like, we're getting a Tyler in 2023, right?
I don't know.
He didn't come out this year, right?
He came out last
When
year.
did his last album?
Last year.
Yeah, so we know we're getting a Tyler in 23. He's done this for years. He's done this since as long as I've been listening to him, which was like 2017, 2018. So we're getting a Tyler. I'm not concerned about questioning it. So what's up with SZA? What's up with? It's something with TDE clearly.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's the label, and sometimes the label plays games. And I'm not in the music industry. I don't have relationships with anybody in the music industry, so I don't know for a fact. But you could parse together. You could just kind of assume, kind of make educated guesses that there's politics behind exactly how they allow certain artists to release their music. They want to hold on to them. These are money-making cows for them. SZA is a money-making cow. So if SZA, hypothetically speaking, only had one more album left to put out, you're gonna hold on to SZA. It's like any other business. Like if I'm in the NBA and I have LeBron James, and I can kind of feel that he's leaning towards joining a different team, or or at least it doesn't feel like he's really invested in my team anymore. and he comes to me with, okay, we're gonna do some contract negotiation for an extension. You think I'm gonna allow LeBron James to have a trade clause to where he can just up and request a trade? Hell no.
Nope.
I want to keep LeBron James with me. So what am I gonna do? Okay, no trade clause. You're gonna stay here for X, Y, Z. You're gonna get paid this,
Pay
this,
him
and that.
more money so he can stay. So he'll agree to the terms and say you're gonna be here 6 years.
I'm gonna get that return. Because I don't even care if you play. You're on my team, which means I'm going to get bans regardless. Just the thought that you're on my team, fans are going to come to me regardless.
And this is like a tangent, a little bit, but I think all the time, like, there's really no reason why we don't have like a Negro league for the NBA that would pop harder than the NBA. It would be very easy. I don't know about easy, but it would. What do you think about that? It's like quick little tangent. If LeBron was just like, fuck the NBA, I'm retiring, and he just starts a Negro league with his billions and got together with other black billionaires, and they just started a little Negro league, and little by little, all the money, all the attention, all the advertisements start switching over because the talent is going there.
I don't know.
It's possible.
I mean, it sounds good, right?
They would sabotage it like crazy, so they would have to really be on their P's and Q's with the lawyers and get ready to, because they're gonna come hard, so they need to be ready.
It sounds good in theory, right? You know, ownership. It sounds good in theory, but when you actually break it down, and I'm an NBA fan, but I don't know every single building block of the NBA. When you break it down, you have an entire conglomerate of a company that is in charge of a whole like atmosphere of other individual businesses within that one entire conglomerate business. You can always do something like how Ice Cube did the 3v3, or how T-Mac is doing the 1v1 leagues. You can always do something like that. But I don't know. I don't think there's enough camaraderie. Like
1v1 leagues?
Yeah. I don't think there's enough camaraderie in order for LeBron to just be like, because how do you, like, people want the check. People are in the NBA. People are in the NBA just because they love to play basketball. People are in the NBA because they get the check. You think if they were getting paid $30,000 a year, they would be playing the way that they play?
No.
Hell no.
No, I'm saying this gonna have to start. This would have to start really small, and they probably don't even have the money to really make it pop. It would have to be like a very small league. They're not getting paid the most.
You'd have to be doing it for
probably.
principle.
It would start. It would have. Yeah, it would be on principle, and it would probably start with like dudes who couldn't really cut it in the NBA. Like, hey man, we pay you guys $100K a year to just come in and play, and then build up, make money, be ready because the NBA is gonna see it as a threat because they already know what it could snowball to, and it would take years, but as soon as a couple big contract dudes take a pay cut, and go because
and
they
I mean
on
a
code,
pay cut.
It's over. It's over. Like when I'm talking big, like top first round picks decide, hey, I could be making $5 million a year, but I'm only gonna make $1 million, or I'm only gonna make $500K. But they go on principle, and they go like, hey, so the next gen can make the money I was supposed to make. It's gonna require sacrifice.
A lot of sacrifice. And that's what's going to happen in the music industry. Like, if we're connecting the two, like that's what would have to happen in the music industry. You hear somebody like Kanye West, and we could transition that into the next topic if we want to. But if you hear somebody like Kanye West talking about trying to get some type of ownership, not being a slave to the labels, teaching contract, what's that word? Like when you understand, like comprehending, the ability to comprehend a contract literacy, I guess you can call it. Like, that stuff needs to start with the heads, the tops, the Drakes, the Jay-Z's, the Beyoncés, the Kanyes, the SZAs, right? Like the Weeknd, people like that. They need to be the ones that are like, all right, we're done with this label shit. We can create our own. Let's get our own brand going. You know what I mean? Like, we have enough mind share in order to be able to still be making a good amount of money. Like, let's create our own festivals. Like, fuck Rolling Loud, fuck Coachella. Like, let's do that shit ourselves. They definitely have it. They have the clout.
You just got to fight. You have the clout. You just have to fight for it. But Kanye, come on, dog. Like, there's really like, Kanye right now could just say, you know what? Fuck Yeezy. I'm doing Ye's, which is his new shoes. They're not Yeezys. They're now Ye's. And he could do his own shoe line, and people would nobody would buy a Yeezy again. You know what I mean? And
So
like,
let's
he's
bring it to the
completely
next topic.
independent.
Let's bring it into our next topic because since we're on Kanye, that's basically what he's been talking about this entire time on Instagram, right? Is just fuck Adidas. Y'all are sabotaging my creative directing. I need to be in charge of Yeezy. I need to be in charge of it.
This is the thing with Kanye, man. It seems like he's been having, like, since the Trump era ended, he's been having one long nigga wake up call. He's thought for a while that he's just some kind of like ascended Negro, like OJ. And now he's starting to realize without ownership, you don't have shit. I don't care how rich you are, Kanye.
It feels like he
You
already
own your
knew
own
that,
shit.
but maybe as of recently, he's actually been dealing with the repercussions of not having ownership. Because I say it all the time, bro. I'm always going to stand by it. There is no such thing as partnerships. They just don't exist. They just don't exist. Someone's going to try to exploit you. This is all a capitalist game. There's no way that you can be like, okay, yeah, you need to own it. For Kanye West to not be on the board.
It's control. It's not even own, it's control. It's like with the banks. Like, yeah, you own your house. Like, yeah, I own my house. But the mortgage, the IOU to the bank, they control the debt. You own the property. They control the debt and they get a return off it. There's a difference. He doesn't control. He has a stake in it. He's getting some money out of it. But at the end of the day, he does not own and like truly own and control it.
Yeah.
He gets paid for having his likeness and his name attached to it. But Adidas controls that monolith that is Yeezy.
Yes. Yes, they do. And he recently signed an extension, I believe, with Adidas. Which doesn't make any sense because if you really had all these problems and all these gripes with Adidas, why are you still working with Adidas? Does that make any sense to you?
I don't know. The money might be too good.
I think that he's really used to the infrastructure. Now, there is a thing because as we've been going on our own content journey and as we're starting to dabble in a little bit of investments and business talk and things like that, I'm starting to recognize that there are two different types of people. Like there's entrepreneurs and there's intrapreneurs. Entrepreneurs are the ones that put up their own money. Intrapreneurs are the ones that put money and invest it into other people. In the entrepreneurship lane, there are people that are collaborators and there's people that are just executioners, individual executioners, people that want to just do it on their own. They're most of the time really good introverts. They're most of the time people that are just like very, very just like pathologically just in their own lane, going to make sure they execute work. People like Elon Musk, people like, even though Elon Musk collaborates, but like, you know, the stories you hear about the people that just spend hours and hours and hours in the office, they fall asleep in the office, they brush their teeth in the office, those types of people. They wake up, they work, they fall asleep, they wake up, they work.
It reminds me of that movie Margin Call for some reason.
People like that, you know. I'm more of a collaborator. And I think that the collaborators, they find it difficult to trust their own, and I don't want to speak for everybody, but I'll speak for myself personally. I find it difficult to trust my own ideas and just be like, all right, that's the idea I came up with, boom, without bouncing it off of anybody. And I feel like Kanye West might be a collaborator. Maybe that's why he always is looking for partnerships. He always speaks about the fact that he needs the infrastructure, and that's the reason why he makes the partnership, sure.
And that goes into what he said one time. In one of his most famous interviews, he said, now who gonna be the Medici family and let me create more?
Right.
Like he wants the infrastructure, he wants the funding.
It provides
wants all the
security.
support to support him as an artist. Yeah, it provides security.
And you also have a team of people that you can bounce ideas off of. If you're going to be the creative director of a team, you're going to be the one that's like, okay, how about we do this? All right, create the mock for that. Okay, I like that idea, but maybe we could change this, this, and that. People are bringing you the idea. Maybe you craft some of the vision. Maybe you are the vision, and you may craft some of the idea, but other people are bringing you the ideas that match your vision. I think he likes that. I don't think he wants to be the CEO, the COO. I don't think he wants to be all of that for his own company.
He doesn't want to have to build it. He doesn't want to have to build the infrastructure. But the problem is if you want true ownership, you have to do it.
At a certain point.
Once it's set up, it's a lot easier. But that's the hard part is building infrastructure, building the
At
systems.
a certain point, you will have
the
to
thing
be the
is,
one.
though, I'm not saying it wouldn't be difficult, but he has the money to outsource a lot of that. He has the money to do it.
He doesn't want to do that.
He has the money to outsource it. Outsource it. What I mean, I'm not saying like because that's relying on other people still, but at least outsource the talent that could build it for him. And then once he has it, he has it.
I don't think that
But
he
that's
wants
time.
to. You're talking about outsourcing out of the country?
I'm not outside of himself. I mean, clearly he's going to have to do that to build the infrastructure anyway. I'm not saying that he wouldn't have to do it, but like, I don't understand the hesitancy because you're collaborating with others. It's just in this sense, he's working with an established company that has all the systems set up. They have all connections to marketing and distribution and design teams. In this case, he would have to just leave all that and just say, you know what? I need a design team, and I need distribution, and I need someone with connects for advertising, and I need this, and I need that. I have to go out and find people who will set this up for me. I don't just go to Adidas, who already has that.
He needs
They've
the
been doing this for
connections.
years. Yeah, I have to go do this, and I have to build it like a company like Adidas to do what I was doing before, kind of, with Adidas.
Because it
But
seems
I
like
have real ownership and control.
because it seems like the connection that he's made with Adidas, that relationship is tarnished. I mean, he's on Instagram putting them all on blast. He's literally posting selfie images, like LinkedIn pictures, of every single individual that is on the board of. I think they're on the board of Adidas, and he has a problem with every single individual on there, and he has problems with Gap too. And it's like, bro, then why are you still like? What did George Bush say? Like, what did George Bush say? He was like, "Fool me once, shame on you." But fool me can't get fooled again. Like Kanye, you can't get fooled again. You're getting fooled. You got fooled twice, and then 3 times, and then 4 times.
He's having a nigga wake up call. He thought he was ascended, signing the white man's contracts, and you have the money. He's like, Kanye what's he? Last time I heard, he was worth like 8 or 9 billion.
Yes.
Now with compound interest, he definitely is there now. He definitely is there.
Like Kanye.
So he's definitely worth 10 billion plus. I don't. Well, everything markets are down, so maybe not. But you know, my thinking is, I don't. You have the money to do it. I know smaller independent artists who have their own merch. Why can't you get your own merch?
Well, he does.
You
that
worth
for-
$10 billion.
He does that for his concerts and shit. I think he wants it at mass scale. He doesn't want to
Well,
start over.
Put the money up. You worth $10 billion.
You could do your Tyler Perry thing. You could
If
do
it
your
costs
Tyler
a couple
Perry.
$100 million to get the shit set up, or $1 billion to get the shit set up.
He needs to go talk with Tyler Perry, bro.
He doesn't want to front his own money. Put the $1 billion it's gonna take to get it loaded, and then when people love you, love Kanye, and they start buying your stuff and you start making money, you'll be right back. Probably making more.
Because he's clearly not a good collaborator. It's not for him to be a collaborator. He needs to be in charge of it. He needs to be the one that is calling every single shot. If it's
That's what I
not
just
him,
said.
yeah, he needs to be the one. You said control.
Yeah,
that's the word. He needs to be the one that's in control.
He needs complete control, meaning he has his own company.
These white companies,
He-
these white-owned companies are not just going to be like, oh, Kanye West? Oh, I listened to your music in 2003. Here's the tickets. Here's the key to Adidas. You want to have controlling stake of Adidas? Here. They're not going to do that shit. Why on earth would they do that?
They're gonna find some kind of way where you get paid, but they're gonna come out on top either way. And business is war, so of course they're gonna do that.
And in your contract
But-
negotiation, dog, why are you not allowing yourself to get on the board or I walk? You're Kanye West. You have the vision, yo. You have the land. You say you have the resources. You make the cotton. I'm gonna start talking like him. I pick the cotton and I put the cotton. He didn't say I pick cotton, but he says he always talks about the cotton and the seed and the, like you have all the shit, right? You have the resources, then do this shit. Like you said, put up the money. But maybe he's not
He has
that
the
risk
money.
tolerant.
He probably isn't. He needs, like he said, he wants a Medici family. He wants to just come in. I'm the creative brain. I'm Kanye. People love me. Pay me XYZ. I'll approve the designs. I might do some of the designs. We're gonna put it out and make a whole bunch of money.
Right.
That's kind of what it seems like what he's doing.
Yes. Yes.
But he doesn't have to think about this distribution and the marketing and the getting the raw materials and getting the sweatshop to manufacture it and going out to test the quality and Adidas has that set up. They have people they've hired to do that all the time for their own products.
I'm
All
rooting
they're
for the
doing is just
man.
adding
though.
a Kanye line.
I'm rooting for the man because I do think I like people that mix it up. You know, Kanye is such a polarizing figure to say the least. I know that sounds pretty cliche, but he is. You know, so it's easy for people to take sides against him, and to just be like, oh my God, like he's crazy, you know.
Kanye to me is like, when he just doesn't express himself well. I feel like, especially when he's like having an episode, which
I think he does.
makes sense. Like he's like erratic. Like he'll say something, and like if you've already written him off as crazy, you don't hear what he's really trying to say.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times he's saying some real shit. Sometimes he's just trolling and just talking crazy. But a lot of times he's talking real shit if you really listen to what he's saying. Like that video where he was like, I am a god. I just told you who I thought I was. A god. I just told you. People only play that clip and it's just like, this guy is crazy.
Yeah.
But if you listen to the whole thing, he basically was just like, you guys have no problem with me saying I'm a nigga, I'm a thug, I'm a gangster. All of these titles fit me better, huh? But as soon as I say I'm a god, Negro saying he's a god, he's lost his mind.
Yeah. And I put positivity.
That's basically what he
behind
was saying. Yeah. And he was like, well, what do you mean? I just told you who I thought I was.
Now we had
A god, I just told you.
We were having a debate with our friend about the school, and we might be staying on this a little bit long, but you know, Kanye West is like, I'm a fan of Kanye West.
I mean, he ranted so much and he went in so many tangents. It's a lot of topics for him this week. I mean, we're like in the Kanye bubble, but there's several topics in the bubble.
Yeah, exactly. We gotta pop them all. We gotta burst them all. About the school. Do you have any opinions on the school? Because I said when we were talking about it, I was like, if a billionaire wanted to educate me, I'll take the billionaire education.
I didn't go in hard enough on this one. I hold back. Because I'm going to go like really hotep when I go for it. This is before I knew that this was a school with other children. I thought this was just a man homeschooling his children. If it's a man homeschooling his children who doesn't want to go to a Eurocentric school that doesn't teach anything about his people's accomplishments, only about European accomplishments and theft, I'm cool with that. I'm like, cool. I would like to teach my own children an environment where they're not stigmatized for the color of their skin. I saw a crazy video where they did studies about how like black children are overly watched in the classroom. They had like just random teachers watch a school room full of like multicultural children, and their tracking was constantly on the black boy. They would just like they've tested everyone, even the black female teachers were just constantly watching the black boy. Anything he would do, they would rate as high levels of like he's misbehaving or he's doing something. So when you see stuff like that, as a billionaire black person, would you want your children in these schools, public or private?
Not if you can help.
That don't care about your children.
And you feel like I'd rather hire.
Exactly. I'd rather hire a black teacher, high credentials, everything that can teach my children maybe K through 8, K through 9. Like I want them to get like the best general education, read and write, math, science, cool, right? History is going to be more from an African black perspective. Of course, we're going to teach American history, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
If that was where Kanye was coming from, I think more black people should do that. You're seeing more and more black people, especially post-COVID, are homeschooling, or they're just web schooling. They're going to like all online web schools, and they're performing way better than they did in the classroom because a lot of times they're being ignored and terrorized in the classroom. But in this case, I'm like, when I saw the video when we were arguing in the chat, and it was like some weird looking warehouse, it just kind of seemed like, Kanye, you got too much money for these kids to be going to school in a warehouse, bro.
Well, he just started it.
But here's my thing: is like if you were that serious, it shouldn't be like how long he's been working on this. I don't know how long he's been working on this, but it does not. It looked like something he just was thrown together.
He got farther than Dr. Umar though.
No, yeah, he got way farther. Umar's a clown and a scam artist, but.
Whether you like him or don't like him, is nothing you could do about him because he's number one. Whether you like him or don't like him, is nothing you can do about him because he's number one.
He's Kanye West, man.
You know, if he has accredited teachers there, and like he said in his description, it's just we're teaching them. Of course, it's like a Bible school. It's like a religious school, but they also are getting a high quality education in math, science, you know, arithmetic, whatever. What do we learn in school? Like we math classes, science classes. History classes.
He's gonna have more of like a liberal arts
electives,
mentality. Like it's
English,
not gonna be like
Spanish.
But what I was saying is like the point that I was trying to make is like, first of all, this is not a school for average kids. This is gonna be a school where it's like he's hand selecting these kids based off of relationships.
And it's private
most likely.
school, right? Probably, yeah.
It's not gonna be just like, oh, I happen to live in Calabasas. Like, can I apply for the easy school? Like, it's not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be that. I think it's gonna be like, oh, I have a kid that's 12 years old, and I like you, Kanye West, and I have a relationship with you. Can my kid go to your school for a couple months? Yeah. Come to my school, and we're going to do Pilates for a little bit of time, and we're going to teach your kid how to fucking draw or some shit. Like, it's not going to be a real school. Like, it's school. Like, school, education is education, right? Like, but it comes all down to the same point that I'm just trying to make earlier is like, if I'm getting educated by a billionaire, I'll take the education from the billionaire before I take the education from some random school, no matter how prestigious it is. I don't care, especially if I'm in a position, if I'm as wealthy as Kanye West and I have a kid who's like 12 or 13 years old, and I'm not really worried about, because I have the foundation already built for them. They don't need to go to college unless they want to. They don't need to graduate with high honors. They don't have to go the traditional route of education. So let me just throw it in there.
Yeah, but this is my thing with my children. If I was on Kanye West level, I want my children, of course, they're going to be homeschooled, and I'm going to have them taking the after-school program so they can be around children and after-school sports and club sports. That's going to be mandatory, 100%. You got to pick something so you can be around people your own age so you can develop those skills.
Yeah.
But I want a family of, like, if I'm in real estate and I had a son or a daughter, let's say I had a daughter, I want her to be my real estate lawyer. And I want my son to be my tax guy. And I want my other son or my other daughter, I want them to be, I don't know, they buying real estate. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I want a family that's just like, they building an enterprise. Like, we building some shit. We have spheres of knowledge on all my different children are expert in some category that is benefiting the family business. Like, I would want, that's what I want for my family. Like Kanye, like, if his kids, that would be dope if he had like a lawyer that managed all his, he's gonna be an old man by then, but that managed like all his like contracts and deals he has with companies.
Yeah.
So his children would be set, but I wouldn't want my children to be set and they just bumming around and running around on my money. I want you out here hustling and getting it on your own. Man.
You're gonna learn.
I'll support you though.
You're gonna learn.
if you out here getting good grades and you're in law school or whatever, you will have a condo paid for around the corner from your you walk. All you gotta do is walk across the street and you can go to class. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll hook my children up like that. You balling out, you hustling, you winning cases. All right, new car in the house. But you gotta be providing value. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. I completely understand what you're talking about.
I'm sorry, I've ranted a little while, but that's like one of my dreams. It's like to be wealthy. I'm like a 60-year-old man, and all my children are like experts in some kind of category. Like, one is like a super sick accountant, one is like an investment banker, and one is like a real estate lawyer. You know what I mean? Like, real kick ass. Like, just have a family of just bosses. Like, feel like the family on Bel Air, like the new Bel Air show. Like, I'm like the new Uncle Phil. Like, that show is fire.
You better be careful, or else they're gonna label you a capitalist.
See, that's a great segue. That's a great segue.
Jay-Z's dumbass had something to say about capitalism, and he was trying to tie it into being a black person.
Sound like a clown, dude. He sounded like a clown.
Essentially, he was saying if black people have gotten all of this wealth all of a sudden and in recent times, it's too coincidental for us to now all of a sudden be speaking about capitalism is or like eat the rich and you're a capitalist, and using all these terms and all of these things, all of these terms in order to demonize being a capitalist, being rich, making money. And that it seems like he was saying it was only directed, not only, but mainly directed towards black people.
No, bro. The way he framed it was literally like he got on the Twitter Spaces. This is where it was recorded. He just popped in the Twitter Spaces. I guess I was talking about capitalism, and he was just kind of like, yeah, you know, like, we never had a bootstrap. Like, we've always been locked out of wealth, which is true. But then he said, oh, now all of a sudden you got some black people getting money, and they're inventing words like capitalist.
Yeah,
I'm like, we've lived in a system of capitalism for centuries, my guy.
Yes.
So now all of a sudden
Where have you been?
you and your Gen X, early millennial Gen X gen get one or two token Negroes elevated by the white establishment, get money, and all of a sudden it's Negroes is making up words, and they's hating, and they're making up words like capitalists. You sound like a clown.
It didn't sound
He
very
kind of was
thought
on the
out.
right track, and then all of a sudden it just went like a stock, like a rug pull in crypto. It's up, straight down.
It's
Like,
crash.
straight down
Bear
to
market.
zero.
It didn't sound very well thought out. But then I was like thinking about it, and I was like, damn, like Jay-Z has been on an incline of income since the 90s. And he's gotten to a point of wealth where it's like his perspective has completely changed. He doesn't consider himself attached to the narrative, or not to the narrative. He doesn't consider himself attached. He no longer has that tether that was once with the lower class, or the middle class for that matter. He is now up here. He's ascended to a level of class where it's like he thinks of himself as the elites. He's with
As an ascended Negro.
he's with the
Like, he's like
Jay-Z. He's with the Jeff Bezos. He's with the Elon Musks and the Jack.
But what he doesn't
Dorseys.
understand is he doesn't have the lack of melanin that is required to truly be on that level.
And I don't think he's thinking of it in that way. Because I understand the perspective that he was saying, that he was coming from. I understand the perspective because for him, he's new money. So of course, all of a sudden, he's going to start paying attention to these things. I don't think that anybody has ever really enjoyed the rich. I mean, history says I don't think people like people that have an overabundance of resources.
There's nothing wrong with you having a lot of money, but like some of these guys have so much money, you don't need that.
An overabundance.
Like when you start, like I think that point is really like $1 billion. Once you start getting past that, then it's like you are wealth holding. But what is your max that you think it's like that's the point where it's like, all right, dude, you're wealth holding.
like
like
50
nine-
million.
Really? Okay.
Dude, $50 million is a lot of money.
No, 50's a lot. I mean, average stock market returns, that's $5 million a year. So
I don't think you need that
you
money.
can't
Like,
enjoy $5 million a year. You can't enjoy $5 million a year. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't think you need 50 mil. I just don't think that's doing anything for you. But like what I was saying is like at that point when you reach that level of Jay-Z and you're new money, you're just now coming into this wealth and you're just now starting to be exposed to these types of conversations and stuff like that. Like this, I don't think this narrative about rich people being wealthy whores is like anything new. That's not new.
No, it's nothing new.
We've had revolutions and
they've
stuff
been
because
doing
people
that
have been
for I don't know
hoarding
how
shit.
long.
Yeah, we have wars because people hoard shit. That's just what it is. We have battles and there's polarizing politics involved and things like that because people hoard wealth. So for Jay-Z, it's probably just a new thing that he's just now realizing. For him to connect it to the black people, I don't understand that. And I understand that there is racism involved in wealth transition, in a transition of wealth in our community. I understand that point clearly. But he was trying to
And us
pinpoint it.
not having a bootstrap. Like everyone says, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. The Negro would never even had a strap. We got beaten, raped, and whipped for hundreds of years. Then we get out. Our former masters get paid for us to get out. And they just say, oh, well, Negro, do what you got to do. But pull yourself up by your own bootstraps.
Am I
All the other
uneducated?
groups
Am I
get a bootstrap.
uneducated in understanding what Jay-Z does for culture? Economically.
I've never really liked Jay-Z because he just seems like he's exploitive. He just seems like he is, in his mind, he has detached himself from being a black man and the realities of being black melanated life on the planet, Afro-descendant life on the planet. He kind of just feel like he moves like he pretends like he's black and he's so black, but he really just kind of moves like a white guy, a rich white man who exploits the black community. That's what I've always gotten from Jay-Z. I don't know what he's contributing to the culture.
He
what
provides
exactly
jobs
is he
with
doing.
Rockefeller.
But, we talked to our friend about how they said the conditions in that job are absolutely horrendous.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's hiring a lot of black people. So he treats them like garbage. Treats your own people like garbage. I don't really think that's the guy we should be looking up to. I've never, I like some of his music, but he just I always got scumbag vibes from Jay-Z.
I just wonder, like, is there
seems like
any
an
way to
asshole.
change that narrative? Maybe if
He was selling crack. He was selling crack to his own people. Dude's a scumbag. We
is there
glorify
any way
that.
to change the narrative? If you reach that level of your max, that level that you were talking about, that number where it's like, damn, like, okay, now you're just a little too rich. Is there anything that changed the narrative? Because Elon Musk tried it, for example. Like Elon Musk tried to put the narrative out there that he didn't even have a home. He didn't own a home. He lives with other people, and You know, he tried to put that narrative out there.
You're still worth billions on billions, tens of billions, or hundreds, right? I don't know how much he's worth.
Yeah, he's worth hundreds. So then you have people like Bill Gates who give up
billions of dollars, dude.
But then you have people like Bill Gates who give up tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in philanthropy acts of philanthropy. But
they
still
tax write-offs for, by the way.
Yeah, but they're still, and that's you can't blame the system. Like, what are you gonna do? Just offer to pay the tax? Like, you got the write-off. Like, can you even offer to pay the tax? But that's besides the point. You have people like that are doing those types of things, right? Philanthropy and things like that, acts of service, but they're still viewed as evil because they're too rich. Is there anything you can do once you get to that point to rebuke that narrative or remove it?
No, I don't think there's no way to rebuke the narrative. I think if we're in times of economic struggle like we are now, people are going to be start looking at you like a hungry bull. Like, bro, you got too much shit, bro. You need to cut break some of that shit off. Or we need to tax these motherfuckers more so there's more money for social services and infrastructure repair.
Like, what do you do? Like, can you give that money away?
All kinds of schemes to dodge taxes.
Can you even give that money away?
I'm sure he can liquidate his assets and give money away. I mean, he probably can't do it all at once, but little by little, I'm sure he can liquidate. But people are greedy. We talked to a friend the other day, like, if $500 million just appeared in your account, what are you doing? He said he would give away almost all of it, like $450 million of it. Or no, I think he said he was going to, what did he say? He said, I'm pretty sure the end of it was that he would keep $50 million cash to have fun with, like $60 million invested, and the rest he would give away.
That's a lot.
Which is, dude, come on. It's $110 million. Just he has collectively. I know he has $50 million in cash that he could just give away or to spend, but he still has $60 million that he can just live off interest, right? Mm-hmm. But I know, like me, like, you can just talking about it, I can feel the greed. Just talking about it, I can feel it. Like, if I just had it, I'd be like, shit. I probably could see myself giving away $10 million, but it would only be to like black businesses and black community, like black farmers, like, you know what I mean? Like, I would have to do my research and to be really specific. I'm not doing that POC nonsense, and most of the money doesn't go to my people. I'm giving it to black people. So, Americans, black American FBA people, by the way. But, you know, that $500 million, I'm not going to lie, I'm investing that shit. Especially if I got it right now. So you know how much money you would make when the market came back. We saw it with the 2020 crash. When COVID happened, the markets crashed ridiculously. And then within a year, it already went way beyond the previous peak before the crash. So you see the greed there? You see what I'm saying?
There's always going to be greed involved. Because, I mean, money corrupts. By the time
the markets come back, you probably have a bill. I don't know about it's going to double, but you probably have like 700 something million in assets. A couple of years, you'd be a billionaire.
Speaking of all this wealth and hoarding, or if you want to transition it into whoring, we could talk about Blac Chyna being the top earner of OnlyFans.
she saw what Bad Baby was making her start bucking her eyes like,
who's Bad Baby?
The Catch Me Outside girl. As soon as she turned 18.
That's her name? Bad Baby?
That's her rapper name.
Oh. I don't know why I thought that you just fucked up Bad Bunny.
No. As soon as I saw an article a few months ago that she was worth like $50-60 million off OnlyFans because pedophile niggas hopping on there just, she's almost 18, guys.
Oh my God.
She's almost 18, guys, so it won't be illegal anymore.
Count down 5 more days.
She was breaking OnlyFans records.
Blac Chyna reportedly, and I don't know who reported it. Should have did my due diligence. It might have been OnlyFans that reported it, because how else would you get that number?
Yeah, definitely was OnlyFans. Or
reportedly,
maybe she blew the whistle because she probably posted her metrics. I don't know.
Was the top earner on OnlyFans last year in 2021, with an estimated $20 million a month made off of subscriptions from OnlyFans.
And you know she's blowing that shit. I know she's blowing that shit. I know there's no type of investing. If I was making $20 million like a goddamn month, you'll be a billionaire in a couple of years. Not even.
And some people had some theories. Some people had some theories about it. Some people said that it's too good to be true. it's almost virtually impossible that somebody can actually make $20 million a
No, I believe
month.
it. That Baby was making like $1 million a month or something crazy, like a couple $1 million a month. So I believe it.
Some people were
Blac
trashing the
Chyna has
content.
clout.
Some people were trashing the
That
content.
shit's probably ass.
And I'm not going to say that Blac Chyna is an unattractive woman.
You looked at the leaks?
I've
Like
seen
Kanye
something
said?
I've seen something on Twitter. I've seen
Check
that
'em out.
something. I'm not gonna say she's an unattractive girl, but she's not my cup of tea. So I wonder, like, but does it matter? Does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
Because who are the type of people that are on OnlyFans? If you have a subscription to OnlyFans, do you know the type of thirst? You know the type of thirst that you need to have to pay somebody to say, here's my content, you can look at me naked. To pay
When you
somebody
have-
for that?
When you have Pornhub, you have X videos, you have Red videos.
You have
you have X
or
Hamster,
you could just
have
go out and meet
XNNX,
people for free.
You got Bang Bros.
You
like,
got Tinder.
Or you can just go out and meet
You got
people.
Bumble.
Or you can do both. You got Tinder, you got Bumble.
You have the real world. Nigga, you have VR chat now. You could go have some virtual sex. You could go like how Blonsky's doing and meet some pen pal soulmates. Nigga, like there's all types of different methodologies of getting some, I'm not gonna say the word, but you know, getting some play. And you decide to go on OnlyFans and
Get some
subscribe.
box.
that was Elliot that said that shit. To go on OnlyFans in order to get some nut off, like seriously. So I don't think that it matters. Like I think that the real conversation that we need to start having is OnlyFans legitimate? Like should I be on OnlyFans posing as a woman and just showing ass? Cuz I got some cheeks. Like do you want me to show you? Like
man.
you want me
No,
to show you?
I'm straight, bro. Double entendre.
I could legitimately, if I'm really trying to think it out, I can legitimately scam these dudes and just be on OnlyFans, just posting ass pictures and be like, subscribe for $5.
See, and I saw somebody crack a joke that was like, if you know you ugly, if you showing ass on Instagram and nobody's paying for it, like that's an ego blow because it seems like some I feel like almost anybody can post on OnlyFans and get some type of return off it.
Yeah.
You have to be like pretty goddamn ugly for you not to get a return off it.
Yeah. But you also have to pick a lane. Like you can't
Anybody
just be on,
with clout, like if Ari Lennox opened an OnlyFans, I promise you she'd be making some solid money.
she would get she would get so much hate. Let's not talk about
But think
Ari
about
Lennox.
people. Let's just think about people who just don't normally are not known for like selling sex like that, and they just all of a sudden was just like.
Or if you're a lookalike.
Chloe Bailey had an OnlyFans. She billionaire in like 2 years. Billionaire in like 2 years.
Oh my god.
Billionaire in like 2 years.
Oh my god.
Because she had to
Think
provide
about
content
that.
that's better. She had to provide content that's even raunchier than what she puts on Instagram.
Bro, at the peak, no, she could still do the same. Bro, if she at the peak of her, whatever this Instagram come up was of her thottery, if she at the peak of that, I don't want to call it thottery, but at the peak of her finding her sexuality, her sexual freedom, at the peak of that, can you imagine how much money she would have made?
She'd be like she'd be worth over 100 mil.
20 million in a month
now.
would have been nothing.
Nothing. She would if Blac Chyna is making $20 million a month, Chloe Bailey would be making $100 million a month.
How does a
I
man
swear
get
to
into
God.
OnlyFans, bro? I'm legitimately
I swear
asking.
to God. Yes.
I'm legitimately asking this question. How does a man get into OnlyFans?
I mean, if you swing that way, maybe LGBT route.
No, you don't think that women are on OnlyFans buying OnlyFans subscriptions?
I don't know, but I don't think it's common. I think if you
I need to
are
know
a gay
this.
man, if you're a gay man and you have a lot of sex appeal to men and you got putting good content, I think you could make some money.
Get that top down shot.
Something like that.
What's
I
the
don't know.
angles? I need to find the angles. Do I need to do some like experimenting?
Get that Prince Albert done.
Prince Albert?
The dick piercing. I was trying to make a callback to the joke. You know, get trapezius.
I need to know from the women, bro. I need to know from the women. I need to speak to more. I need to speak to these women because women watch porn, so I don't put it past them to be on OnlyFans. But do they need?
Or another thing, you know what I think you could do? You could do, if you have a partner, you guys can just record sex sessions, and if it's good, people will pay for it. I'm sure that appeals to men and women.
I'll reach out to some people. I just got a message on Tinder.
You literally can make your own.
I'll reach out to some people.
If it's good content, people will pay for it.
I really want to know, like, would you do a sex tape for OnlyFans?
If the money was good, yeah.
Well, you don't know if you're gonna get the money or not. You're just putting that's content. The same way that you're putting out these content.
I would only do it. I wouldn't do it if it was like I wasn't guaranteed money.
Really?
It wasn't like I'm just dating a celebrity and she's like, let's
you
make
wouldn't
a
do it
sex
for the
tape
love.
and charge it for it.
You wouldn't do it for the love, bruh.
That's
you wouldn't do it for
that's just asking to get revenge porn.
You wouldn't do it for the love of the game.
You know what revenge porn is?
Yeah.
Revenge. Yeah, that's just asking to get revenge porn. What if you have a crazy partner?
Oh man.
She just like sends it to your job.
You found a way to kill the vibe.
But I'm a what if guy. Jokes? I just think of like it just popped in my head. I was like, imagine like it just popped in my head. It was just
bro. I was in a wonderland, man. You just had to throw it some revenge for, bro. I don't want to get got
you
like
had
that.
a crazy girlfriend. You guys had a sex tape. You guys made. You broke up with her, and then she just sends it to your job and just like, I hope you.
Yeah. I don't want to get got. No.
And she blurs out her face in the video, but just sends it. But you keeps your face unblurred.
I think that OnlyFans is becoming legitimate. I low key think that OnlyFans is becoming a methodology of actually creating a sizable passive income. It's like slightly passive.
I mean, it basically is like digital sex work.
But does it always have to be like? Why do we consider OnlyFans only sex? I mean, obviously, like because the majority of the content there is sex. But is it like what else can you do on OnlyFans? Like, could you just be like, okay, like let's talk?
It kind of feels like it.
Can you do therapy sessions? Like if you're a psychiatrist,
it's like a sex Patreon. It's like a sex Patreon, but I don't think it's exclusively sex. I can almost guarantee there's probably people on OnlyFans who don't have sex or they don't do anything related to sex. But because it's so associated with sex, it makes more sense to use Patreon. It's so associated with sex that if you just have OnlyFans in a bio, people are just going to assume you're doing sex work.
I'm gonna start putting these podcasts on
might
OnlyFans.
As well just use Patreon.
I'm gonna start putting these podcasts on OnlyFans.
Start putting them on Pornhub.
And I'm gonna just
that might be a good way to market it.
And I'm gonna just put the link in our Instagram at Top Tier Pod. And I'm gonna put the link on Instagram, and niggas is just gonna see OnlyFans. They're gonna be like, what? Let me click on this. Let me click on this.
I don't know.
Oh,
I feel like people would think that immediately.
People
would think we were gay.
Hey, maybe we should play into it.
That would be hilarious.
Maybe we should play into it. Who knows?
And they pay for this. Then we could catch them dudes, but they pay for it and they'd be like, oh, these dudes just post the podcast.
We might catch a little bit of a lick. We might catch a little bit of a lick in the beginning. You have like 50 people be like $15, or maybe that's too high. $10. Elliot, Nick, I know them niggas.
I'm done. That would be hilarious. We should do that on like April 1st. That would be like the greatest April Fool's joke.
I'm putting that in the notes. That has to happen. Oh my God, that is too funny.
All you do is just post. We just check out our new Top Tier OnlyFans on April 1st.
And we'll Photoshop.
And it should be legit. Page, everything, money set up.
Yeah, we'll Photoshop ourselves. We should just Photoshop ourselves or some shit. That would be so funny, bro. That would be so funny. God damn. That's an idea right there, bro. Niggas ain't ready for that.
They'd be like, and that's how you catch them because they'll forget it's April Fool's. Like, he posted real early in the morning. They're like, what? They go on there.
Oh my God.
Then if you spending $10, I'm gonna know it's you, and we gonna laugh at you. I'm gonna DM them. Just DM them.
Speaking of, I have no transition for that. Well, I want to talk about this Blood and Honey, this Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey trailer. Mm-hmm. What the fuck is that? Did you watch the trailer?
It's dudes having fun. I've seen it.
It looked good.
Dudes having fun.
It looked good.
It looked like Do you think they're gonna do it with Mickey? Because isn't it like after 100 years,
no.
then it becomes public domain? Isn't that what it's called? And then
Please don't do that.
they
If
can do
it
whatever
looks as
they
good
want
as this,
with
I'm
the-
gonna watch it though.
They don't get copyright.
Is this gonna be in theaters?
I think it's gonna be in theaters.
I think I'm gonna go watch this if I can find it.
Just to laugh. Like this, this weekend, bro? Was all the $3 movies? Like if it was something like that when it comes out, I would go.
I missed the $3 movies. It was at a bunch of theaters too. I missed it. I think that this movie is gonna be good. The thing that really intrigued me the most is that it's a legit play on Winnie the Pooh. I didn't know it was gonna be like Christopher Robin and Piglet, and did I hear Eeyore in the trailer? Did I hear that?
I don't know the characters like that.
Oh, okay.
You probably did though.
I thought I heard him say Eeyore, but maybe I'm just making shit up. But Winnie the Pooh and Piglet are going on a mass murderous rampage in the 100 Acre Woods. That is a great premise for a movie. I'm gonna go watch this. I'm gonna go watch this, and it's gonna be bad, but I'm gonna be
Probably
fucking
gonna be terrible.
I'm gonna be fucking rolling on the floor.
These are dudes having fun, bro. These are dudes having fun.
I want to know what they look like because we still haven't gotten an image of them.
They probably look like some fucked up. I don't know what they look like. They probably look like some from Coraline.
It looked like they were just dudes in a costume, like how the old King Kongs look.
Yeah.
Remember the original King Kong where it's legitimately, you could just see it's like a guy in a costume and they just made him bigger with some movie magic back in the day? Or like the old Planet of the Apes where it's like you can just tell that these dudes are just like humans in a costume and they're just wearing plastic masks. That's what it looked like. I'm gonna be fucking dying though. I'm gonna be fucking dying. What is it with like the
I
remakes?
love those. I'm a sucker for those kind of movies where it's just like a whole bunch of idiot teenagers getting slaughtered. I don't know why they just. It's classic. It's just like. It's what you do.
Winnie the Pooh slasher movie. God damn. Piglet is gonna be ugly, bro. Piglet was making all types of nasty like.
Why are they making them? Why are they making them look like that though?
I think they're supposed to be like real. They're gonna bro. If they can find a way to actually build this
They
world
look
out,
like those realistic SpongeBob's 3D.
Yeah.
You know, remember those things that we saw that they was like, what if SpongeBob was real? And it looked like
Yeah.
this creepy ass, nasty looking, fry cook miscreant, ugly looking serial killer creature.
if they could find a way to build this world, this could be a really good movie. I think so. If they could figure out how to
Robbins is
like
like the main character.
who,
What's his name? Christopher Robbins.
he's
The
gonna
little
die
boy?
though. He's gonna die.
He's probably gonna die at the end.
If they could figure out a way to be like, all right, like I had a relationship with the, like I wanna know like what happens, bro. I gotta go watch this movie somehow. I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to go to one of those artsy theaters where they only play like the weird
Yeah,
the
we
weird
got some
movies.
interesting horror movies. When I'm in a mood to watch a bad one sometimes. Like, what's that movie coming out? Bodies. That looks alright. I kind of want to see that.
Not me. Not me.
You know, Pete Davidson. It's just, you know he's gonna get capped off in the beginning. He's either gonna be the villain, or he's gonna get capped off.
I was telling our friend though, like there's gonna be a lot of new movies, a lot of new movies coming out in fall, winter. There's gonna be some
the
good
movie-
shit too. Some good shit.
The movie is out actually. The Bodies movie's out.
There's gonna be some good shit coming out recently, or soon, I should say. And I'm ready for it. What else we have?
What's the next topic?
We were gonna touch on Mark Zuckerberg being an MMA trainer now.
That's a quickie. Yeah, let's do that one.
What do you think about that?
You beat
What do
your
you think
ass.
about that? Are you
He's a
entertained?
billionaire.
Were you
I'm
as entertained as
'cause
I
I
was?
say all the time. It was very amusing. It was just like anybody can get training and then all of a sudden it's fuck around and find out. Anybody can get, even like small dudes, little guys can get some training. They'll nail you right in the nuts. Or get that leg. If they get that leg high enough, they take you out.
What is it about MMA that's so intriguing to people? Because we've seen Wiz Khalifa recently do it. We've seen, I think Kevin Gates started doing boxing. I mean, MMA is not the same, but you know, it's
Probably
kind of
great
the same
exercise. It's probably great exercise mixed with being able to whoop somebody's ass.
Yeah, the
Without a
testosterone
firearm.
release, the adrenaline release. We were talking about it pre-recording, and we were talking about it, and like, We would do it.
No, I would do it for sure. When I was a kid, I did kickboxing for like a year. And I actually loved it. Stopped doing it because I was lazy, but I did it like in elementary school. I don't remember I did kickboxing.
I tried to do karate, but it's just nah.
I did karate too for a little bit too, but I really like kickboxing. I really
All
like
that
getting that leg up.
Hiya, hiya, hiya.
Getting that leg up. Like I always felt like I have strong legs. Like I was in college, and I locked my door in, and a bunch of people were trying to kick the door in. They were trying to kick the door in, and I walked over and I was like, "Is it really that hard?" I kicked it open just half trying. I'm dead ass too. That's a real story. I kicked it open just half trying. So I was like, "Damn, if I learned Muay Thai, I could kill somebody. Get that leg up, break a neck." Like, I know that sounds crazy. I'm not a crazy
neck.
person. But I just think, like, if I had to defend my life and I didn't have a firearm and I wasn't, like, in jeans, I can get that leg. If I got trained, I can get that leg up, shotgun kick, take a motherfucker out of here. If my life was threatened.
Mark
'Cause
Zuckerberg,
I've seen
man.
Muay Thai knockouts where they just, like, they hit them so hard, they just turn off. They just, like,
Who's messing with Mark that he feels like he needs to go and get some MMA training?
this is just exercise and just home invasion trading. If they
Who's
somehow
messing
get
with
past
Mark,
his,
bro?
if they somehow sneak in his house and get past his like 10 million guards outside his house, because he has the money to hire. If I was Zuckerberg rich, I'd have guards.
I wonder
I'd
if he
have a
talked
main
about it
gate
when he was on Joe
and have
Rogan.
patrolling dudes.
I wonder if
I
they
don't know.
talked about it.
They might have. He might have trained with Joe at some point.
I just think it's interesting that people choose MMA though. That's the most violent one. Like Wiz Khalifa is doing MMA.
Isn't it Muay Thai? Which is, I thought it was. He had a Muay Thai trainer, but it probably wasn't.
Same. It's all the same shit. MMA.
Yeah. I mean the kicks, yeah. Muay Thai, they kind of like, they have like the elbows. They're like doing this and they'll kick you, but they also elbow the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
Imagine just taking a strong elbow to the face. Like, you could die.
I don't want to take a strong anything to the face. I don't want anything to the face. I don't want to. I don't want to kick, a hand, a dick, none of it.
Pause.
I know. I set that one up. I
I
tried
know.
to flow. I tried to flow.
I
with
saw
that.
it. I saw what you were trying to do. Yeah. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. It's like I'm telling you right now. I get crypto goes up, Bone Shiba Swap token, not financial advice. That crypto goes through the roof, dude. I'm gonna have firearms training. I'm gonna have a Muay Thai teacher. I'm gonna have a Krav Maga teacher, whatever, Krav Maga, the grappling one. Dude, come in my house and fuck around and find out. If you somehow get past all the firearms, then we have to run the hands.
Put the fuckers in the bad predicament where all
That's
the
like one
foul
of my
niggas
fears.
went.
Like that was one of my fears when I was a kid is burglars. Like my house is gonna have bars on all. If you get in, then you have to meet the firearm.
Leave
If you
blood
somehow
stains on what
survive,
remains of the
then we're gonna have to throw the hands, and you're not gonna be ready.
the criminals trying to drop my decimals. Damn, why they
So
want to
that's
stick
really
me
it,
for
man.
my
It's
paper?
really not much to talk about. It's just like, if I had that kind of money, I have the best teaching me how to whoop somebody's ass, 100%. There's
Yeah.
no reason not to. And it's
You
just
have
amusing.
no, you have.
Good
I mean, you
exercise.
had nothing else to do. Like, what the fuck else are you gonna do? Paint?
It's a good exercise. It's something to do, and
Golf.
fuck around and find out.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be like John Wick. I have people who train me. Like, have you seen the videos of Keanu Reeves training for John Wick? Mm-hmm. And he's like shooting, and he's doing these like shooting drills. Mm-hmm. He can do that shit in real life, like he does in the movies.
It's pretty legit. Well, he can act. He can act it out. He can't do it. He can act it out.
But he actually shoots guns. He actually does the drills with the weapons, and he can change it out just as fast as he does in the movie, but with real weapons.
Oh, I feel like it's acting.
Like, if you've seen, bro, but he's shooting real guns and hitting the targets. Like, it's acting. Like, I hear you, but, like, you would not want to fight John Wick. Like, you would not want to fight Keanu. You broke into Keanu's house. He had all the John Wick guns. You're fucked in real life.
I see what you mean.
He
But
would
you
take
really
you
think?
out.
Do you really think that if he was going up against a Navy SEAL, he'd be able to, or if he was with a Navy SEAL, he'd be able to hang?
No, we're talking about just random burglars. He would not be able to hang with a Navy SEAL. No shot. But among more normal people, he's eons beyond them. That's all I'm trying to say. And that's most likely what he would have to deal with in any kind of confrontation.
Yeah. Yes, sir. That's what we got for y'all today. We will catch you guys in a couple of days for episode 11. We'll bring the energy. We'll bring the fun. We'll bring the top tier topics. All y'all got to do is just show up and be ready for this good ass music in this top tier funk. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we will catch you guys at another time. And we wish you guys all the best. Stay safe out there. I know Elliot's cooking out there in that LA heat right now. If you in LA,
that's
you know
why
what the fuck is up.
I have fans on fans on fans.
Yes.
All over the house, bro. We have fans like in every window. Like, trying to
Texas is out here. We about to get that storm. And, it's storming out here and everything, but it's not storming in our hearts. We got the funk. We got the love in our hearts. So I'm going to let this play out a little bit more. Let me get this hook, baby. Come on, Michael. Everybody else. Come on now. Sing that shit. All right, y'all. This is you. This is you. Hey. The wise man has the power. All right, y'all. We'll catch you guys at another time. Be prepared this Wednesday. We're going to drop this episode on YouTube on Tuesday, and then we'll have this episode. We'll have the next episode ready for you guys on Wednesday. And keep it top tier, y'all.
Take it easy, guys.